We've got a lot more to read in this indictment. If you missed part one, you can find the link down in the description below, and feel free to join my Telegram group so you can stay up to date with the latest news on all of this stuff. That being said, let's go ahead and dive right on into the news. Continuing where we left off, at the end of the page, a March 2nd, 2021 post to a SafeMoon blog created by Nagy specifically highlighted these purported benefits to investors. The post claimed that SafeMoon smart contracts would act to auto-magically transfer a portion of each sale into the LP, where it would be locked for life. The post also describes SafeMoon's 10% tax on transfers to include 5% auto-locked in liquidity pool. On or about March 3rd of 2021, SafeMoon published a SafeMoon user guide and code for the SafeMoon smart contract. Both cited SafeMoon's purported safety as a digital asset and inability to be fraudulently rug pulled by the token's developers. The user guide represented that SafeMoon featured auto-locking liquidity for 4 years and was 100% community owned and driven. No rug is possible. The published SafeMoon smart contract code stated that SafeMoon featured a fee to auto-add to the liquidity pool to locked forever when selling SafeMoon. On or about March 2nd of 2021, investors began purchasing SafeMoon for the first time, with the defendant Kyle Nagy acquiring 3 trillion SafeMoon using the SafeMoon deployer wallet. The following day, Nagy acquired an additional 18.9 trillion SafeMoon using the SafeMoon deployer wallet. During this time, as the defendant Kyle Nagy and other investors purchased and transferred SafeMoon, the SafeMoon smart contract applied the 10% tax to every transaction, automatically redistributing half of that tax, 5%, to all other SafeMoon holders and adding the other half of that tax, 5%, to the SafeMoon liquidity pools. In turn, with each liquidity pool deposit, the SafeMoon deployer wallet received new SafeMoon LP tokens. These SafeMoon LP tokens were distinct from the SafeMoon LP tokens Nagy had locked in a separate smart contract on March 2nd, 2021. The defendant, Kyle Nagy, controlled the SafeMoon deployer wallet and the SafeMoon LP tokens stored therein. By March 4th, 2021, Nagy had accumulated more than 300 SafeMoon LP tokens. On or about March 5th, 2021, Nagy used the accumulated LP tokens to remove approximately 3.59 BNB tokens and 36.6 trillion SafeMoon from the SafeMoon liquidity pool. Nagy then sold 36.9 trillion SafeMoon by swapping those tokens for 1.64 BNB. As SafeMoon's trading volume increased, the defendant Kyle Nagy continued to use SafeMoon LP tokens to remove liquidity from the SafeMoon liquidity pool. Between March 6, 2021 and March 15, 2021, Nagy used SafeMoon LP tokens to remove approximately 46 trillion SafeMoon and 644.91 BNB from the SafeMoon liquidity pool. Between March 7, 2021 and March 25, 2021, Nagy transferred more than 10 trillion SafeMoon and 440 BNB obtained through liquidity removals to wallets he personally controlled. March 2021. The defendants John Crony and Thomas Smith joined SafeMoon and marketed SafeMoon into investors based on material misrepresentations. In or about mid-March 2021, the defendant Kyle Nagy recruited defendants John Crony and Thomas Smith to join the SafeMoon project, and they continued marketing SafeMoon directly to investors and prospective. Assumed the title of CEO of SafeMoon, and Smith assumed the title of Chief Technology Officer of SafeMoon. After joining, Crony and Smith worked to update SafeMoon's public-facing websites and white papers and communicated with current and prospective SafeMoon investors using, among other things, channels, social media, and chat rooms, and live-streamed video SafeMoon Ask Me Anything or AMA sessions. Through these public-facing SafeMoon websites, white papers, and AMA sessions, the defendants John Crony, Kyle Nagy, and Thomas Smith promoted SafeMoon as a digital asset that was safe in light of its locked liquidity pool and would generate returns for SafeMoon investors through its automatic reflections and through the developer's own efforts. Between March 2021 and April 2021, SafeMoon's website and white papers continue to highlight SafeMoon's automatically locked liquidity. They also included roadmaps that outline the steps the developers would purportedly take to increase the value of SafeMoon. These included marketing and listings of SafeMoon on multiple exchanges and the arranging of partnerships. These marketing materials linked the appreciation of SafeMoon's price to these efforts, claiming that the developers' efforts would take SafeMoon's price to the moon. SafeMoon's trading volume and market capitalization grew rapidly through March and April 2021. During this time, in addition to their own promotional efforts, the defendants John Crony, Kyle Nagy, and Thomas Smith worked to identify and pay celebrities and social media influencers with large followings to promote SafeMoon over social media in the hopes that the promotion would increase the trading volume and price of SafeMoon. Now, before I continue, in case anyone is wondering, they never paid me. I never even talked to John directly in any DMs. I think he responded to me like once or twice in Discord. I don't even remember if he personal benefit. Those representations were false. By March 13th, 2021, Nagy had already liquidated trillions of SafeMoon he obtained from the SafeMoon liquidity pool and transferred the proceeds of those sales to wallets he owned and controlled. At the same time, Crony, Smith, and other SafeMoon insiders discussed strategies to secretly acquire and sell SafeMoon to enrich themselves. For example, on or about March 13th, 2021, Crony messaged co-conspirator 1, a SafeMoon insider whose identity is known to the grand jury, that he just bought some SafeMoon and told co-conspirator 1 to ask defendant Thomas Smith to, quote, snag you some. The following day, co-conspirator 1 asked Crony, quote, we can buy SafeMoon or nah? Crony responded, maybe no. But Crony explained that they could conceal their SafeMoon holdings and stated, quote, you can always buy, then transfer ownership to someone. Just have a game plan to transfer it over to someone you trust. 2 days later, co-conspirator 1 asked Crony, quote, how much you holding? And Crony responded, quote, technically none. Co-conspirator 1 asked, quote, how much are you hypothetically holding? Crony replied, quote, less than 100. The defendants, John Crony and Thomas Smith, also discussed trading strategies designed to allow them to personally profit from SafeMoon's increasing value. In or about March 2021, Crony told Smith that each day they should sell $10,000 worth of SafeMoon from the SafeMoon deployer wallet. After Crony noted such sales could generate potential tax liability, he proposed a plan to avoid that liability, explaining to Smith that they may need to take some of that cash and buy you and individual 2 a reliable company car as well. Continuing on. Smith responded to Crony, stating that they needed to be wary of bank accounts reporting to IRS on 9,000 deposits within a certain period of time, and that IRS would be heavy into audits if we did 9,000 regularly. Between March 13th, 2021 and March 16th, 2021, the defendant Kyle Nagy continued to remove liquidity from the SafeMoon liquidity pools using SafeMoon LP tokens, and he continued to sell those tokens for his personal benefit. On or about March 16th, 2021, Nagy asked defendants John Crony, should we be honest with the team about pulling out of the LP for the project now? And noted that he was getting questions about it. Crony responded, let's draft up a statement. Thomas, you and I need to talk about how to message that properly. The same day, Crony and defendants Thomas Smith discussed whether to disclose. Kyle Nagy and Thomas Smith internally discussed their ability and intent to use funds from the SafeMoon liquidity pool. They did not disclose those facts to SafeMoon investors. Rather, through the SafeMoon websites, white papers, social media posts, and AMAs, they continued to represent that the SafeMoon liquidity pools were locked and that the funds contained therein were inaccessible to them. For example, on or about March 17th, 2021, as Smith responded to publicly posted concerns about insider access to the SafeMoon liquidity pool, Crony messaged Smith, quote, make sure you specify we won't touch the LP. During a subsequent AMA, Smith and Nagy were asked about, quote, claims that there is nothing stopping the developers from accessing the initial liquidity they created. In response, Smith stated that the SafeMoon liquidity was, quote, locked, and that over time we generate more LP tokens that will also be locked, but that they may use SafeMoon LP tokens for, quote, charity and stuff. April 2021. The defendants removed additional liquidity from the SafeMoon liquidity pools and secretly traded SafeMoon for their personal benefits. By early April 2021, hundreds of thousands of investors held SafeMoon, and its trading volume and price increased dramatically. On April 4th, 2021, SafeMoon recorded its then highest daily trading volume of approximately $43.96 million. That day, the defendants, John Crony and Thomas Smith, participated in a SafeMoon AMA where they touted the growing numbers of SafeMoon holders, addressed public comments that SafeMoon was a fraudulent rug pull, and answered questions about their personal ownership and trading of SafeMoon. During the April 4th, 2021 AMA, the defendant, Thomas Smith, told investors that SafeMoon was, quote, not a rug pull or a, quote, soft rug pull. As to his personal SafeMoon holdings, Smith stated, quote, I personally hold none because I'm a software engineer. I don't want to create a situation where my decisions as a CTO are affected by the monetary gain of those actions, and that's why I've made that separation for myself, end quote. During the AMA, Smith further explained that he did not hold SafeMoon tokens because, quote, not everything is about money, guys. It's that simple. I'm not greedy. I already get paid, so I get paid enough that I'm fine. I don't, we're good. I like to earn my money. I like to, feel good about what I've done, end quote. Thereafter, users of SafeMoon social media pages repeated Smith's claim that he owned no SafeMoon tokens. After the conclusion of the April 14, 2021 AMA and the overnight hours of April 5, 2021, the defendant Kyle Nagy transferred 513 billion SafeMoon to a wallet address owned and controlled by defendant Thomas Smith. The SafeMoon that Nagy transferred to Smith was traceable to the SafeMoon liquidity pool and was valued at more than $600,000 at the time. After receiving the SafeMoon from the defendant, Kyle Nagy, the defendant Thomas Smith sold large quantities of that SafeMoon, swapping SafeMoon for a more widely used digital asset and then sending it to an account Smith controlled at Crypto Exchange One, a centralized digital asset exchange, the identity of which is known to the grand jury. During that time, Smith communicated about these SafeMoon sales with co-conspirator One, who was a SafeMoon, quote, community manager in charge of monitoring SafeMoon's social media platforms and chat rooms. After Smith successfully transferred these SafeMoon sale proceeds, Smith told co-conspirator One, bro, we did it, and it's effing go time. And they discussed buying luxury vehicles. After completing additional sales of SafeMoon that day, Smith told co-conspirator One that, quote, basically nobody noticed, end quote, Smith's sale of SafeMoon. Now, before I continue reading on with this, I have a pretty good idea of who that individual is. I think a lot of you guys have a pretty good guess on that as well. I'm not going to mention the name. It's not being mentioned in here, but I think I know who it is. I'm pretty sure everyone can figure this out if you've been in this game long enough. And it makes me wonder if there's going to be charges against them in the future as well. Continuing on, the same day, April 5th, 2021, the defendant Kyle Nagy used SafeMoon LP tokens to remove 66 trillion SafeMoon and 272 BNB tokens from the SafeMoon liquidity pool. Minutes later, Nagy transferred all 272 BNB to a wallet he controlled. Over the next 2 weeks, Nagy sold trillions of SafeMoon and BNB traceable to the SafeMoon liquidity pool for more than $7 million worth of stablecoins and other digital assets, which he transferred to wallets addresses he owned and controlled. On or about April 9th, 2021, the defendant Kyle Nagy messaged the defendant Thomas Smith concerning the SafeMoon liquidity pool, told Smith that, upon calculation, 5 trillion SafeMoon is left over from pulling out of the LP. Smith asked Nagy, we pulled from the LP? And Nagy stated, initial LP was locked. I pulled from the generating LP, yes. And he told Smith, call me. Public scrutiny of the SafeMoon liquidity pools increased, and the defendants continued to fraudulently remove liquidity from the SafeMoon liquidity pools. On or about April 20th, 2021, a social media account with a large following posted a, quote, scam alert concerning SafeMoon, claiming that the owners of the SafeMoon smart contract, quote, could pull LP and sell tokens, creating a rug pull. The post was widely distributed across SafeMoon's social media platforms and chat rooms. The same day, co-conspirator 1 messaged the defendants John Crony, Kyle Nagy, and Thomas Smith to inform them that current and prospective SafeMoon investors were flipping the F out about the social media account 1's post. Nagy sent Crony a link to the post and wrote, "Crash incoming." On or about April 21st, 2021, the defendant John Crony posted a series of messages on social media responding to the claims and calling the original social media post fake news. In his post, the defendant John Crony disclosed that the liquidity generated with each SafeMoon transaction was not automatically locked, but instead the liquidity locking was automated, a claim contrary to statements previously made on SafeMoon's website and social media pages. In his post, Crony also disclosed for the first time that SafeMoon, including the defendant Kyle Nagy and Thomas Smith, retained access to the SafeMoon liquidity pool and would use liquidity from the pool as a last resort to provide SafeMoon to digital asset exchanges, also known as seeding, and for development costs of future SafeMoon innovation. Crony represented that SafeMoon, quote, will publicly go to the community and let you know if the LP will be used and what for ahead of time. The defendants, John Crony and Thomas Smith, also led an AMA on April 21st, 2021, where they addressed the claims made about their access to the SafeMoon liquidity pool and the risk of SafeMoon insiders executing a, quote, rug pull to defraud investors. Take a break here, guys. I'll continue on in the next part. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe. You can check out my Telegram link down in the description below to stay up to date with everything. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters. Double shout out thank you to WeLoveSafeMoon.com, Victor Vegas, SafeMoon Oz for being higher level patron supporters. And thank you to my YouTube members as well. God bless, and we'll see you in the next episode.